Was there like an
Football,
emotional trigger or anything?
but watching the Broncos.
Were they losing?
I mean, it's not Bronco season.
Did you just say you were watching the Broncos?
No, that's a trigger for me is watching the Broncos.
Oh, okay. Are there any
I
like stress moments? Anything that like you're like for me, I think mine came from like frustration.
I I mean, I think naturally, yes. Like that is how I used to drink. I drank to forget about whatever was going on in my life, whether it was work or personal or both. And that's when I was drinking 6 to 7 times a week.
Yeah.
And it was, it wasn't to because I enjoyed the taste of beer. It was to get drunk.
Yeah, that's fair.
When I think I've like kind of borderline felt that I was an alcoholic. And I've had this conversation with real alcoholics, and it's definitely not the same thing that they go through, but I think it's some of the similar things.
Gotcha. I always think about this. I don't remember if this was in Half Baked or not, but where Bob Saget says, "You ever suck dick? That's an addiction. You ever suck dick for marijuana? No, no, Bob, I never have." So I feel like when I think about addiction, I always feel like it's got to be like to that limit. Like maybe not to the point where you're like fucking blowing people for it, but I think to the point of what I really like. I need to have this to get my day moving.
Well, I'll give you a good example, and it's funny that you said that because I've kind of thought similar, like from Half Baked as well.
Yeah,
But the difference between me and like somebody who's actively battling addiction is last night when I only had one beer here, I would have put myself in a vehicle and I would have went and drove and got more. Instead,
yeah,
I just kind of thought a little bit differently. Well, clearly this shit happened last Sunday. I've talked to you about it. I've talked to my therapist
yeah,
about it. So I didn't, I wasn't trying to get shit faced. And I never want to get to that point.
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to get to the point where I'm buzzed. That's my favorite because I don't feel like shit the next morning. I have a good time. And like, I'm not an angry drunk. I think I'm actually kind of fun to be around when I'm
yeah.
drinking to a certain extent. But I can tell you that last Sunday I was not fun to be around because when somebody can't walk a straight line and can't put a sentence together, nobody wants to deal with that, especially somebody who isn't drunk.
Well, yeah, yeah, because they see it, and they if they're seeing you be kind of out of control in your own body, it's like kind of like a disheartening kind of feeling in them of like, hey, dude, like you should probably stop fucking drinking. And at that point, we've drank enough that it's like you should probably shut the fuck up.
Right,
You
right.
tried that? No, keep drinking, and we don't mean it. I don't tell people to shut the fuck up though. Very,
Well, and you and I talked about this, but this happened like 25 years ago, but it was a bachelor party. I was with a bunch of buddies. We were drinking at a house. We decided we would go to a bar. We go to a bar, and I wasn't the I wasn't the catalyst to this fight, but this huge fight broke out with all of my friends, and it was like, you know, from a bystander, it
yeah,
it wasn't our fault. We definitely did not handle it right, but it wasn't our fault. It was this weird situation with these older dudes. And I'm saying older, they were probably in their 40s. We were in our 20s.
yeah,
So we decided since this shit happened, we better go back to the house and just stay there the rest of the night. But me and my friend said, nah, that's not enough. Let's go to a bar. So that
yeah,
night, I went to a bar and it was a cowboy bar. And I am not a big fan of cowboys.